Here is a question that we never thought we would ask. Can you have too much of a good thing? You know, when Kia first wowed us with the EV6 and then the EV9, we welcomed them with open arms. The more the merrier, we said, bring it on. Well, here we are in 2025 and we've got an EV3 in the showrooms, an EV5 heading our way in the coming months, and EV2 joining the party by the end of the year. And that's not the end of the EVs. No, because we get two versions of this car, the EV4. That's 4 all-new electric cars competing for what could be the same customers. But before we get into all that and I show you around the new EV4, both of them, please do subscribe to the channel and turn those notifications on so you know when all of our EV videos have landed. All right then, let's kick off with the basics, shall we? Because as the name suggests, the EV4 is going to be slotted into Kia's range between the EV3 and the EV5, which will be coming later this year. However, unlike all other Kia EVs to date, this one will come in 2 different body styles, the hatchback and the saloon. The hatch is, you know, pretty conventional. The saloon, nah, not so much. Let's just say it's probably not going to be to all tastes. In fact, it could probably be a contender for Marmite Car of the Year when it lands. Not from the UK, don't get the Marmite reference. It's basically Marmite. It's a thing you put on your toast and people love it or hate it. And I suspect the saloon is going to arouse those kind of emotions.
For now, let's start with the hatchback. The hatch version of the EV4 is 4.4 metres long, 1.9 metres wide and 1.5 metres tall. This puts it bang in the middle of the hatchback class. So it's almost identical in size to a Ford Focus or a Vauxhall Astra. And how does it compare to the EV3, I hear you ask? Well, it is 10 centimetres longer, identical in terms of width, and 15 centimetres lower.
At the front, Kia hasn't strayed too far from the look it's given the EV3 and the EV9. It's smoother though and more angled, which means it's going to be potentially more aerodynamic. The middle section, pretty conventional by Kia standards. You can tell from details like the flush door handles and the smooth edges that the designers have tried to make it as slippery as possible for that all-important maximum efficiency. The rear. It's kind of where it gets interesting. So you've got that kind of upright pillar, which is a little unusual, and the trim line that extends over the roof to the other side. And then there's a really deep roof spoiler that extends the roof line. Again, that will help with the aerodynamics. The back end is a little harder to love than the rest of it, I think. Reminds me a bit of a pug or a French bulldog for some reason. But as a package, I do quite like the hatchback. I think it looks cool. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. But I think the hatchback is a kind of cautious thumbs up. On now to the saloon. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is the version that will grab all the headlines, but perhaps not for the reasons Kia may hope for. At the front, it is the same as the hatch. Neat, tidy, well proportioned. Tick, tick, tick. It's here where things start to get a bit weird. If anything, the back end of this car is madder than the concept, and that was pretty mad. If I'm being uncharitable, I would say it looks a little like it's been designed by 2 people who have never met or spoke to each other. Do you remember the game you used to play called Consequences when you were younger on a folded piece of paper? Somebody does the head, somebody else does the body, somebody else does the legs, you unravel it and this is what you get. Well, yeah, you get the picture. Anyway, yeah, there it is. That's the saloon. I'm going to leave this open now for you to pile in on the comments and let us know what you think of it. I think they're going to be really interesting to read.
This glass line just bangs into the rear pillar and the overhang is massive. I reckon if the rear wheels were maybe 40 centimetres further back, it would look a whole lot better than it does.
And this is no optical illusion, the saloon is actually quite a bit longer than the hatch. This Kardashian rear end adds 30 centimetres to the length of the EV4 hatchback, which makes it a bigger car than the EV6. Like all the other models in Kia's EV lineup, it's based on the group platform that they all share, but under the skin, it's more closely related to the EV3 than it is the EV6. That means it has a 400-volt electrical system rather than the faster 800 volts that you find in the EV6. The motor is also up front and will drive the front wheels. Both hatch and saloon are going to be offered with two battery options, a 58.3 kilowatt hour and an 81.4 kilowatt hour version, which, if you are a Kia expert, you all know are the same size packs that you get in the Kia EV3. But here's where the numbers start to change, because the EV4 is more slippery and aerodynamic, as you can see, thanks to the way it looks. Anyway, that means it is more efficient.
The long-range version of the saloon comes with an official figure of 391 miles, which is 16 miles more than the smaller EV3 can manage. Now, the hatchback isn't quite as slippery as the saloon, and that has an official figure of 367 miles, which is still pretty impressive. I mean, don't forget, 300-mile electric cars were the stuff of dreams just 4 or 5 years ago. Kia hasn't confirmed DC charging times, but the EV3 manages 135 kilowatts for the long range and 102 kilowatts for the standard range. And like the EV3, it will come with battery preconditioning, which means that you'll get as close to that peak as possible if you have your destination set as a rapid charger. Vehicle to load is standard, as we've come to expect from Kia, as is vehicle to grid when it becomes available to UK households. Up front, you'll get a 201 brake horsepower motor, which Kia says is enough to give the EV4 a 0 to 62 time of between 7.4 and 7.7 seconds, which will be perfectly fast enough for most.
Inside is where it gets much more familiar, because it's just got everything that we know and love from all the existing Kias in the range. It's got that same slightly curved screen that's actually 3 screens amalgamated into one. It's got that really nice mixture of physical buttons, both over here for the things that you use a lot, like your climate control and your media and all of that. It's got the very familiar newish shaped steering wheel with controls on there as well. And all the storage that you see in the other models, this sort of open area here at the front, good size pop-up cup holders, wireless charging, and then you've got this central armrest. What is different though is this. Ta-da, that flips up, and I'll show you it as a party trick when I get in the back seat of the other car. You know, generally the materials do feel really nice and it's well put together. One thing though, from just having a quick poke around, that I have noticed is this central console. Plastics feel a bit nasty, a little bit scratchy, but other than that, nice place to be. You're also going to be able to get video streaming for Netflix, for Disney, for YouTube. You'll be able to watch our videos in your car. It will come as an over-the-air update, and the EV4 will be the first EV in the range to get it.
This video is brought to you with Andersen EV, the UK's most awarded home charge point brand of 2024, offering over 200 colour and finish options, a market-leading 7-year warranty and a unique hidden tethered cable.
I mean, this is where that extra length makes sense in the back seats of the saloon. So this is set for Manos, who is, I know I should know this, 6 foot? 2. That 2 makes all the difference, 6'2". And look! Well, you're meant to be filming, stop interrupting me. Honestly, look at it. I mean, I can hardly touch the seats. There's so much space. You are really, you know, people with very, very long legs are going to be absolutely fine back here. Nice flat floor, because of course this is an all-electric platform. So yeah, you'll get 3 people in here, no problems. What is a bit weird though is the depth between the base of the seat and the floor, because there's not much of it. So my knees feel in a kind of slightly strange upright position, which feels a little bit unnatural. I know I've got high boots on, but even if I imagine I haven't got heels, it still feels a bit strange, a bit perched. This is cool though. Da 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 da. There you go. It doubles as a little table for whatever you want to put in there. I mean, other than that, it's a bit beige in here. I worry slightly about what it might feel like with a much darker interior. I suspect it might feel a bit claustrophobic because the windows are very narrow. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. When it comes to boot space, the hatch has 435 litres of it, a bit more than a VW ID3, not quite as much as a Renault Megane. The Saloon is the model out the two versions that wins the space race with 390 litres. But you might want to have a look at it to figure out if it's going to work for you. Because, yeah, it's a bit awkward really. It's kind of very low and very wide, and it's got a massive load lip. Yeah. I'll leave that one to you to figure out. So Kia hasn't given us anything official yet on pricing, but it's going to be fascinating to see how the EV4 gets shoehorned into the existing lineup. So the EV3 is priced from £32,000 to £43,000, while the EV6 starts at £44,000. So where is the EV4 in all that? The boring answer is that it's likely to be pitched as an alternative to the EV3 with prices to match, in the same way that VW sells its SUVs alongside and at the same price point as it sells its hatchbacks. So there you have it, the Kia EV4. What do you reckon? Another Kia masterstroke? Or maybe a model too far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, please do subscribe and switch your notifications on so you know when all our latest videos have landed. We're going to be doing deep dives into each of these versions together with driving them very soon.